Hi, I'd like to share with you another puzzle from my puzzle book, Out of This World Chess Puzzles. If you haven't already, you can see the intro to this video series in which I show the scrambled chess puzzle. And now what I'd like to show you is a sort of word search chess puzzle. I also will call sort of chess words here. So let me scroll down to example one. All right. So in this puzzle, we're given a list of words that we have to find. Should have them down here. Words like bishop, castle, rook, pawn, queen, check, mate, chess, king, knight. So all of these different puzzles have a different series of words that you have to find in them, like any old word search. But the trick here is that in this word search, the letters that we're going to connect are not laid out consecutively, at least not necessarily. Normally in a word search, you look for the letters next to each other. Here, we're going to look for letters connected by the movement of chess pieces. So, for example, we can find the word king in this if we think about moving these as chess pieces. So we can start where the K is, and I do provide hints in the book as to where what piece movement each one of these words corresponds to. But I'll give everybody a moment to pause the video if you want to try and see if you can find king by connecting letters by either using the movement of a knight, rook, or bishop. So just to give you an example, a movement here, like let's say we start with one of the K's here. K, we were looking for I next to spell king, so it could be this I if we're moving as a bishop. The remaining letters we try and connect will also have to be on diagonals. We also have KI here, moving as a knight from G2 to H4. So a puzzle like this could be a neat way of visualizing, a fun way of trying to visualize moves and find a sequence of moves with a particular piece. Again, this could be good for some endgame practice or just helping to practice your visualization of squares, but in a sort of unique and fun way. Okay, if you haven't already done so, you can pause your video. Otherwise, I'm going to reveal the solution, and we can work through it together. Well, we can try any one of the K's in this. Right, this K, there's no way we can connect to an I with any type of piece movement. This K, all we can get to is this I based on knight movement, and then if we visualize where the knight can move from H4, you can move your knight to some surrounding light squares like G6, F5, F3, G2. We came from G2, actually. None of those have an end, so that's a dead end. And KI here, if we're moving as a bishop, we can get to the I, but along either diagonal here, continuing on this diagonal or looking at the A2, G8 diagonal, there's no N. So none of those options are useful for spelling the word king, moving as either one of those pieces. What about a rook? Well, again, there's no rook moves from here to an I, but this K here connects to an I here. And now from this I, we can move as a rook, again, either along the D file or along the fifth rank. We have two N's to connect to. This N will be a dead end because the A file does not contain a G. But K-I-N, on the H file, we have a G. So we're able to go from D6 to D5 to H5 to H1 with our rook. 4 moves of the rook, and we spell the word king. All right, let's try another one. I'll give everyone a moment to pause their video and see if you can find the word mate. Okay. Hopefully you've paused the video and tried to have worked this out a bit. And actually, mate here we can spell with two different means. We either have a pretty straightforward spelling with a rook, or we have a spelling here with a knight. So F4 to D3 to F2 to H3. So that was a bit of an easier one. Okay. Let's try one more. And let's see. I'll give everybody a moment to pause and see if you can spell the word. Let's see. Which word should we pick here? See if you can spell the word rook here. Okay. Again, using one or more different types of movements, can you find a way to spell the word rook? And remember, once you've committed to one type of piece movement, the rest of the word has to be spelt with that same type of piece movement. Okay, so I'm going to reveal the solution here. Again, you can try starting at several different ends here, but you'll quickly find out that you will run out of O's unless you start here and you use the movement of a knight. So, of course, I didn't make the word rook get spelled with rook movements. I had to be a bit more tricky than that. So here we're going to go from F1 to E3, from E3 to C4, and C4 to D6. I hope you enjoyed this type of puzzle. There are a whole bunch of these in the book. Some words that have to do with chess or about chess culture, names of famous players, and some of them get a little bit more tricky with some other stipulations put in. If you enjoyed these kinds of puzzles, please check out my book on Amazon. You can find the link to it in the description below. Thanks for watching.